This story was sent to me by Alana Trotman, and this right here is going to be the pure definition of palm-colored privilege, probably mixed in with a little bit of the fact that she's also a woman. So in this picture, you see a woman by the name of Georgia Elizabeth Carney, and they say she's 30, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. She don't look it, and she's looking kind of skeletal, like she needs to eat. But the reason why I'm talking to you about the story today is because this woman has been caught speeding 20 times. She's been pulled over 20 times for speeding. She has 66 points on her license, and she's still allowed to drive. Before I did this video, I looked up how many points does it need to be onto your license before your license is officially suspended. Guess how much it is? 8 points. 7 in some states. This woman has 66 points, and she's still allowed to drive. Now, this article is stating that she's pregnant. They said she's a pregnant beauty business owner and was caught speeding 20 times in 2 months. In a 2 months time, this woman was caught speeding 20 times, has 66 points on her license, and she's still able to retain it, and she's still able to drive. And according to the article, she drives an Audi. It says a pregnant beauty business owner who was caught speeding 20 times in 2 months has been allowed to keep driving her Audi despite the 66 points on her license. Mother-to-be Georgia Elizabeth Carney from Cheshire was stung by speed cameras multiple times on the M62 between junctions 11 and 12 near Manchester, where the speed limit had changed from 70 miles an hour to 50 miles an hour. This sounds like this is overseas, and that definitely it is. It's overseas. In the space of 2 months last summer, she was caught traveling in excess of the 50 miles an hour limit 20 times, twice at 80 miles an hour. At Manchester's Magistrates Court, Carney, who puts on beauty courses at salons, said a driving ban would cause her exceptional hardship because she wouldn't be able to carry all her gear on public transport. Well, you should have thought about that before speeding. Well, I could say that, but it doesn't really matter what I say. They allowed her to keep her license. Carney, who's from Wilderness in Cheshire, also claimed her mother would suffer if she was banned from the road, as she is named guarantor on her rented flat, and the name contact in relation to her leased Audi. You see the excuses this woman gave, and they actually ate all of that up and allow her to keep her license. See, what's going to happen is they're going to keep letting her speed out there like the speed demonette that she is, and she's going to hit somebody. And then that's when they want to take action. Magistrates accepted her special reasons argument. Carney was hit with a £2,000 fine in order to pay £115 in court costs. She was allowed to keep her license despite amassing 60 points, 3 per incident for the offenses. Carney already had 6 points. Defending Carney, sorry about that. I missed it. The page went off the screen, but I'm back. Defending Carney, lawyer Nikki Johnson told the court many other drivers were caught speeding on the same stretch between June and August 2019. I understand this might cause some alarm considering the large number of offenses in a 2-month period, and this may raise concern in the face of repeat offending with no regard for the restrictions in place, Ms. Johnson said. In the face of it, she wasn't aware of the fact she had fully flouted the speed limit because of a delay in her receiving the summons. The reason for that is because the vehicle she was driving in all of these offenses is a leased vehicle, which she has been the registered keeper for a period of 2 years. The fact that she's leasing these cars or this vehicle shows you that she can't afford it and she shouldn't be driving it. All the summons were sent to the lease company and not directed to her in the first instance. That caused a delay. Regrettably, after further inquiries at Audi, they received a number of summons and sent them back to the relevant road traffic unit, who then sent it to her mother's address. The court heard the bulk of the summons arrived at the same time, Carney was not aware of any offenses had been committed. I think she's lying. Carney was said to be absolutely horrified when she started receiving court letters. Mrs. Johnson said since the offenses occurred, she was offered by one of the summons to take part in the road traffic speed awareness course, and she completed that in December last year. She was proactive. The majority of the speeds are under 70 miles an hour. Had the speed limit been in place, it would have been fine. Some are over 70 miles an hour, two of which are 80 miles an hour, which is 10 miles an hour over. She accepts these occasions were when she was in the rush to get home from work, and she apologizes for that. The self-employed beauty and nail technician puts on training courses across Greater Manchester and Cheshire. She argued her business would be affected if she was banned from driving. The court heard Carney also travels to clients' houses. Carney claims she would not be able to fulfill her working obligations without a car. Mrs. Johnson added she would not be able to rely on public transportation because of the places she is working and traveling to and from. It will be very difficult practically to transport the amount of equipment she has with her, which are essentially the tools of her trade. She pays rent at £595 per month, and her mother is a guarantor on that property. If she is not able to work, she would not be able to afford the tenancy agreement, and she would be held liable. This would not only impact her, but her mother as well. Carney's Audi is leased under her mother's name, the court heard. She would still have to pay the £200 a month until the lease expires in September next year. Addressing the court, Carney said, if I'm disqualified, it would have a massive effect on my life and my mother. She won't be able to afford the payment for the car and lease agreement, and I will be affected as I won't be able to work for the next few months. It's taken me about 4 years to build up my clients, and now they come to me through social media. That will be affected too. Carney of Lodge Place, Dundalk Road, was fined £2,000 in order to pay £115 in court costs. Sentencing her, chair of the bench, Ken Chang, told her, you have to come to court with a record offense. In all the magistrate's career, this is a record for me, honestly. We have all studied the evidence presented to us, to the career you have built up, and the fact that you rely on your own transport for all your equipment. You have amassed a total of 60 points, but we still allow you to drive and find you have special reasons to do so. And they ended off by saying, Miss Carney, you need to slow down. The privilege is overflowing in this story. Now, I don't know how the point system works overseas in the UK, wherever she is. But like I said over here, if you amass 7 to 8 points on your license, they will revoke your license. And you got to, I think, probably take a special class or something like that in order to get your license back. That is crazy. They gave her chance after chance after chance. Well, they really give her any chances because they're just now catching her. This whole thing is a joke. But that just shows you how stuff is happening over there in the UK. As you can see, that palm color privilege is pretty damn global. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, follow me on Twitter. Have your notifications turned on, and I'll talk to you in the next one.